Hi and welcome back to the channel. Today's a bit of a requested day. Not that I have many subscribers or otherwise, but people want to see the collection. I think that's kind of par for the course for a channel like this. And I'm going through a bit of reorganization at the moment because nothing's really in any order. And the collection is getting big enough that it warrants reorganizing. So I thought I would take you through my collection, and sadly, like I said, they aren't in any order. I'm going to do the single releases first, and then I'll do the box sets. I will say also that, like most collectors, a lot of these things are sealed. I'll tell you whether it's something that I've seen, if that's the case. But being a Region B collector, you're often stuck with a chance that if you see a good price for a Region A release, you take it. You know, you don't wait around to get a UK release or otherwise, because you just never know whether it's going to come. So with that in mind, our first release is spine number 955, and it's Panique. It is sealed, but I have seen the Criterion disc of this. It has one of the best supplementary features that there is on subtitling, and it's a really fun film. Next one is spine number 860, and that's Mildred Pierce with the wonderful Joan Crawford, a great film noir. Myself and the wife both really enjoyed that. Next up is from a similar period. It's The Cat People. It's spine number 833. What is known as a horror film, but not very horrific in modern times. Next is spine 849. It's His Girl Friday, and the front page, which is two presentations, but His Girl Friday is the one that gets titled Bill in here, and it's Rosalind Russell and Cary Grant. I was saying last night, I think Cary Grant might be one of my favourite actors of all time. He's one of those bankable names that if I ever see a film by him in the collection, otherwise it's an instant buy, regardless of circumstance or review. Next one is spine number 901, another Cary Grant film, this time with James Stewart, and it's The Philadelphia Story. It's also got Katharine Hepburn as well. It's one of those multi-star casts, again sealed, but I have seen it, and I've seen this release of it. Probably my favourite of that entire era. I think it's not only got the strongest cast, but it is one of the strongest stories and storylines, and the way that Stewart and Grant bounce off each other is just magic on screen. Next is spine number 806. Surprise, surprise, another Cary Grant film, this time a Hard Hawks movie, and it's Only Angels Have Wings. One of the earliest Criterions that I ever bought, and didn't really give me an appreciation of what Grant would become, but it's nice to see him in some of his earlier roles. Next one is spine number 917. That's The Awful Truth, another Cary Grant movie. This time with Aaron Dunn and Leo McCarey's The Awful Truth. Again, have seen this. A screwball comedy that is absolutely magnificent. I absolutely adore Awful Truth. Next one's not a Cary Grant movie. It's spine number 979. It is Swing Time with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. It has that awkward scene in it, which most people will try not to talk about, but it's one of those things, it's very much of its time. It's very much something that was belonging in that time and space. Good movie, good dance routines, etc. What you'd expect from Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Next one's an Oscar winner. It's spine number 736. It Happened One Night. It's a Frank Capra movie, and another kind of screwballish comedy that's wonderful. Both Clark Gable and Cleta Cabert, myself and my wife, dearly love watching this one together, and is one that you definitely watch again. Bears a good rewatch value. Next up is one that I haven't seen. Here we go. Spine number 915. It's King of Jazz, Paul Whiteman. I remember when this released in Region B, it replaced something like a band. It must have been like War and Peace or Andrei Rublev. This replaced it, and as much as I would quite like to say King of Jazz and haven't yet, as you've seen, I would rather have one of those two releases, but the classification board being it was, it didn't make it. Next is my youngest daughter's favourite, 788 Speedy. She watched this with me when she was about 5 or 6 and loved it as much as I did. It's a silent movie with Harold Lloyd, and a lot of people don't really or haven't gotten into silent movies. Wonderfully funny, great movie to watch. Next is Spine number 591, one of the greatest films of all time. It is 12 Angry Men. Again, I have seen this film in this release. Not much more to say other than one of the greatest films of all time. Done with the most simple of premises and the most simple of settings, but it just goes to show you that good filmmaking will stand up to nearly any set or scenario. Next one is a film I think I've seen. I've definitely seen the remake. This is Spine number 657. This is 310 to Yuma. I'm almost certain that I've seen the original of this, but not the Criterion release. It's still sealed. Next is Spine number 568. It's another film noir. It's Kiss Me Deadly. I'm a bit more unsure in Kiss Me Deadly. I've seen it once. It's different enough from most film noirs in the way that it resolves itself and the way that it plays out, that I think it bears another watch, because it didn't hit exactly the first time. It was good, but a lot of people seem to find it great. Next up is Spine number 280, Sword of Doom. Samurai movie. I actually haven't made it to the end of this. I think I stuck it on one day, got about halfway through, and then left it a few days and moved on to something else, so I'll have to go back to that. Spine number 297, Bresson's O Hazard Balthazar. Haven't seen. Next, Spine number 577, Cul-de-sac by Roman Polanski. Spine number 545, Easy Rider. Dennis Hopper's directorial masterpiece. Next is Spine number 3, The Lady Vanishes. I don't need to look at the side to know that's Spine number 3, an early Alfred Hitchcock film with Michael Redgrave. Really enjoyable watch. Next up is Spine number 339, and one of the greatest shames that I haven't seen of the collection, and that's Yi by Edward Yang. Edward Yang's got another movie here that I'm coming up to, and given that it's one of my absolute favourites, I'm still not quite sure why I haven't got around to this, other than it's a 173-minute runtime. It's not the longest film in the world, certainly compared to Brighter Summer Day, but I haven't quite got around to it yet. Next, Spine number 845, The Squid and the Whale, Noah Baumbach with Jeff Daniels. I love Jeff Daniels in any serious role. And he's particularly wonderful in this, as is Laura Linney. A really enjoyable movie, The Squid and the Whale. Spine number 962, Death in Venice, Luchino Visconti. I only watched this the other day, and it falls classically into that type of film that, while it's a beautifully made film and there's real skill and craft in it, I don't know how much I actually enjoyed the story of it. I'll revisit that in a future video, I think. That's Death in Venice. Spine number 768, The French Lieutenant's Woman. Haven't seen yet. Spine number 966, a film noir, Detour. Spine number 742, A Prison Searches as a Palm Beach Story. A good, fun, screwballish kind of movie. Pass away the hours. Not the most magnificent type of film of its form, but plenty enjoyable as most of them are. 724, haven't seen all that jazz yet. I am really looking forward to getting it. It was one of those that I picked up because it was a decent price, and I managed to get it because it's not available for release here. But yeah, all that jazz. Spine number 600, Anatomy of a Murder. Otto Preminger, I've seen this release. It's fabulous. It's just a great movie, and anything with James Stewart in it, a bit like Cary Grant, very, very watchable. Spine number 615, The Gold Rush by Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin is, much like Harold Lloyd and Buster Keaton, anything that they make is eminently watchable, and this is great fun. Spine number 939, Paul and Pressburger's A Matter of Life and Death. Their films are wonderful. I have a couple of here. I haven't actually got my favourite, which is The Red Shoes, and I've been waiting to pick that up for many, many years, but it is my favourite of theirs. But A Matter of Life and Death is also a wonderful, wonderful movie. Spine number 563, Something Wild. Haven't seen it yet. Spine number 387, La Jetée and Sans Soleil. A double bill by Chris Marker. I've seen La Jetée and seen a bit of Sans Soleil. I've seen La Jetée because I hear it's what inspired 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys is a bit more fleshed out than La Jetée. La Jetée is extremely visual in how it communicates things and going across. It's an interesting watch. At Spine number 573, Satyajit Ray's The Music Room. Haven't seen that, although I have to see the end of the Apu trilogy as well. But yeah, that's the end of the first stack. Stack 2. Spine number 326, Metropolitan by Whit Stillman. Haven't seen. Spine number 70, The Last Temptation of Christ, which is a Scorsese movie, which is eek. Haven't seen it either. I've been waiting for Easter Sunday to watch that and I missed the last Easter Sunday, so what are you going to do? 651 is Badlands by Terrence Malick. A great movie. Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek in it are both fantastic. A bit uncomfortable to watch, but I think that's just the general nature of the subject material, but great film. Spine number 93, another Paul and Pressburger, Black Narcissus. Haven't seen yet. Next up, Spine number 501, Paris, Texas, Vin Vendors. Haven't seen. I tell a lie, I've seen the first half an hour on a streaming service and then my subscription did run out, which is why I bought the Criterion release, but I haven't seen. Spine number 956, some of these films I'm watching at the moment. Abbas Kiarostami's 24 Frames, but I haven't seen that yet. Spine number 864, a man whose films, a lot of films I've seen, but it's being there by Hal Ashby, a recent release here in UK Criterion. Haven't got around to seeing it yet. Spine number 1009, Holiday, that magician, Cary Grant, and Katharine Hepburn again. Spine number 538, Paths of Glory, Stanley Kubrick, Kirk Douglas. Another recent release, Spine 1011, Failsafe by Sidney Lumet. Spine number 662, Safety Last, another Harold Lloyd silent movie. Spine number 7, A Night to Remember, story of the Titanic, which has got a link because Belfast's my hometown and it's the most famous thing to ever come from Belfast, I think, in many ways. Lots of people will say the most famous thing that ever happened in Belfast was a disaster, and the saying that comes from here is, well, it was fine when it left us. Spine number 521, Mystery Tune, Jim Jarmusch. Spine number 14, 15 and 16, the Samurai Trilogy. Wonderful. Spine number 412, Sawdust and Tinsel. I have seen this, the Ingmar Bergman movie. This was the first Bergman movie that I properly watched knowing that it was a Bergman movie and loved it. Spine number 6, Beauty and the Beast, or La Belle et la Bête by Jean Cocteau. I like it. I don't think I love it as much as other people seem to. Spine number 974, The Heiress by William Wyler and Olivia de Havilland there in the cover. Wonderful movie, really enjoyed it. Next, the first of movies by one of my favourite filmmakers, Spine number 18's The Naked Kiss by Samuel Fuller. I think the opening scene in The Naked Kiss especially is one that probably goes down as one of my absolute favourites in all of cinema. Fantastic. Spine number 36, The Incredible Wages of Fear. I watched it and Sorcerer back to back one weekend and don't want to cause any fights, but I definitely found this much superior. I found the relationship between the two main characters much more believable and real. So, Wages of Fear. The other Samuel Fuller is Shock Carter, Spine number 19. Spine number 1004, Now Voyager. I haven't seen. Next is Spine number 880. I talked about this recently. This is They Live by Night by Nicholas Ray. Fantastic. Spine number 503, Lola Montez. Spine number 868, Tampopo by Jose Ortamo, or Tammy should I say. One of my favourite films as well in the entire collection, again sealed, but seen, this release, etc. Fabulous. Spine number 825, one of my other favourite filmmakers from that genre period, A Touch of Zen. This is the one release that I own the Criterion disc for. All the other King Who releases, aside from the 188 films, I own in Eureka. A Touch of Zen is a magnificent film. Spine number 810, I've done a separate video in this as well, but In a Lonely Place. Wonderful Nicholas Ray movie as well. Spine number 146, the recent release of The Cranes Are Flying. Haven't seen. Spine number 57, That Man Grant again, this time with Audrey Hepburn and Charade. Probably my least favourite Grant film that I've seen so far, but still very good. Spine number 795, Gilda, with Rita Hayworth. That Man Fuller again, 954 40 Guns, one of the titles that I have 2 copies of now. I've got the Eureka version as well, but may possibly be my favourite Fuller film. Barbara Stanwyck is amazing in it. Spine number 138, I think the first of his movies that I have, but that is Akira Kurosawa's Rashomon. Not much more needs to be said about Rashomon. It's terrific. And Spine number 925, Midnight Cowboy, I haven't seen. Spine number 843, Punch Drunk Love, Paul Thomas Anderson and with Adam Sandler. Fantastic. The first Wes Anderson that I have, Spine number 157, The Royal Tenenbaums. A massive Wes Anderson fan. A lot of people want to rank them. It depends on the day of the week for me, I have to say. Each of them has their own little special place or a little mood that goes with them, but Royal Tenenbaums is definitely a great movie. Spine number 903, Jabberwocky, with Terry Gilliam. Haven't seen. Spine number 123, Grey Gardens, the documentary. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's a difficult watch. Spine number 947, which is Shampoo. Haven't seen. Spine number 288, F for Fake, which I have seen, again sealed. Really enjoyed it. Spine number 963, To Sleep with Anger, again seen. Good film, again quite difficult to watch. Danny Glover's character is not exactly the most palatable person that I think you'll ever seen in the movie, but definitely very well made movie, and it definitely makes you think a lot through it. Spine number 65, Rushmore by Wes Anderson again. Fantastic. I think there's general agreement that it's impossible not to like Rushmore, so we'll go with that. Spine number 450, Bottle Rocket. Fantastic, another Wes Anderson. Spine number 944, Cold Water by Olivier Assayas. Yeah. Spine number 913, Age of Innocence by Martin Scorsese. I'm not really a fan of period dramas, that kind of thing, but I think this is utterly fantastic. I think really one of the best films ever made in some ways. Age of Innocence is wonderful. Spine 764, The Fisher King. Excellent movie. Spine number 804, A Brighter Summer's Day, or A Brighter Summer Day. A couple of seconds isn't enough to say how fabulous this movie is, how it totally caught me off guard, how I wasn't ready for this movie, let's put it that way. It's incredible. Spine number 945, A Raisin in the Sun. Haven't seen. Spine number 823, The In-Laws. Haven't seen. We're getting a bit of a rut here. Spine 973, My Brilliant Career. Haven't seen. 671, The Casual Fall. Guess what? Haven't seen. Spine number 842, talked about this in another recent video. Dreams by Akira Kurosawa. I think this is fantastic. Really, really enjoy it. Spine number 902, it's Desert Hearts by Donna Deitch. I wasn't expecting to even find this film interesting. I thought it wasn't for me. I think this film is fantastic. I think it's really, really great example of a film that I would not have seen except for this being released on the Criterion. Really, really fantastic. 789, Burroughs, a bit like Grey Gardens. I don't think I really like him very much. He's very quirky, difficult watch, but one of those, I've seen writings by him subsequently or interviews with him and have quite liked him, so I'm going to go back over and watch it again. Maybe I was grumpy when I watched it. Spine number 941, Smithereens. Haven't seen. 738 is the spine number, and you can see from the smiling face, a film I do like dearly. It is Tootsie. One of my earliest movies that I can remember seeing from the entire collection. I adore Tootsie. Spine number 888, one of the staples of anybody's Criterion Collection. That's Stalker by Tarkovsky. Fabulous. Fabulous. Spine number 39 is Tokyo Drifter, film I have seen by Seijun Suzuki. Like I've said previously, I really like just about anything by Seijun Suzuki. Spine number 90, Quite On. I really should get around to seeing this. I've got 2 copies of it in my collection, and Human Condition is in my top 5 of all time, so I'm not quite sure why I haven't got round to watching this yet. Maybe it'll be, just put it to the other side and we'll put that to watch soon. Spine number 692, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Good. I don't think it's aged particularly well. A lot of people seem to really like it. It's a Stanley Kramer movie. I've seen better Stanley Kramer movies, I'll put it that way. Spine number 397 is Ivan's Childhood by Tarkovsky. Haven't seen. Spine number 98, L'Avventura by Antonioni. Haven't seen. Spine number 960, La Verite. I have seen this. Bordeaux is just electric on screen. I mean, she plays the same character in every film that she's in, but she's just one of those people that the camera is drawn to, not just because of her beauty, but just her general attitude and demeanour in it. Really like La Verite. La Verite. Spine number 48, A Black Orpheus. I've sat down to watch this I don't know how many times, and something always happens to stop me watching it. I think it's bugged. It must be waiting for the right time. Spine number 537, The Magician. Bought this about a month or 2 before one of the other releases, and therefore haven't got around to seeing it. Saving it. Spine number 91 is The Blob. Haven't seen. Spine number 382, Overlord. Haven't seen. Spine number 769, Day for Night by Francois Truffaut. This film is a lot of fun. It's great. It's a great movie. It's one of those, a bit like Tampo, I think you could hand to anybody and say, what's that? That's a good and interesting watch of a film that you wouldn't have otherwise have seen, I don't think. But yeah, Day for Night, great. Spine number 164, Solaris by Tarkovsky. Again, magnificent. I love Solaris. It's one of those, when you watch it the first time, it's a bit slow, drawn out, but the second time watching it, you're much more drawn into the movie and watching out for the themes that then end up resolving itself throughout it. Really, really great. 796 and 797, Immigrants in the New Land, by Jan Troell. Haven't seen. Spine number 987, a film that was pretty much a meme for a long time, which was Clute. Spine number 726, my second ever Criterion, which is Polanski's The Tragedy of Macbeth, should I say. Really, really enjoyed Tragedy of Macbeth. Spine number 300, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Fantastic. That's my Wes Anderson movie if I want to put myself in a good mood. Next up is spine number 700. It's Fantastic Mr. Fox, by Wes Anderson. I own a Disney release of this as well, but it's been relegated. Fantastic Mr. Fox, brilliant as well. Spine number 587, back to front. Sorry, it's the Three Colors trilogy by Kieslowski. I own multiple releases of these films. I've seen them numerous times. Kieslowski is one of my favourite directors as well. I have to get round to watching the supplements on this because that's pretty much the reason that I bought it. Brilliant. Spine number 971 and 972, Police Story 1 and 2. I watched the first one funny in the Eureka release and then got this box set and watched the two of them again. Jackie Chan movies are always fun. Even when they're not good, they're fun, if that makes sense. Yeah, and love the packaging and the artwork of this particularly. Spine number 1014 is Roma, a film that I've seen on Netflix. It's a very good movie, but it's a bit like some of those other movies that are long and drawn out. It's overly long in many ways. It's more beautiful for the first half than it is good or interesting, although in subsequent watches I'm sure that changes, but that's Roma. Spine number 779, Mulholland Drive, a film that I don't think I'll ever understand. I remember being very angry watching it when I was a younger man, when it first came out, because it was much hyped and lots of people loved it, and I hadn't got a clue what was going on. And I've watched it since, and it's become a much better movie, but I still don't know if I really get it, but I think that's kind of the beauty of his cinema. Spine number 386, Sancho the Bailiff by Mizoguchi. I haven't seen, and again, one of those ones that when I bought, I was desperate to see it because I've seen many of his other movies and loved it, but I haven't seen Sancho the Bailiff yet. Spine number 776 is Moonrise Kingdom, Wes Anderson. Again, a very feel-good movie, puts me in a very good mood, Moonrise Kingdom. Spine number 594 is Godzilla, the single release, which is some of the coolest artwork in it. I do love the pop-up Godzilla, and for that reason I never get rid of this set. I really do enjoy the way they put that set together. Spine number 909, Night of the Living Dead, another fantastic set. I'll not take it out because it's got lots of bits and will fall apart, etc. But yeah, brilliant movie, obviously. Spine number 821 is a movie that, Spine number 821 is a movie that, again, I don't think I appreciate as much as everybody else. And I do mean to rewatch it again from many, many years ago because it's missed the mark for me so far. But Doctor Strangelove or How to Learn to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. I mean, I appreciate why it's a brilliant movie. Peter Sellers is obviously incredible in it. But as a movie, it just doesn't seem to... A bit like Clockwork Orange, I have to say as well. It hasn't hit home to me in the ways. I know what it's trying to say, but it misses the mark a little for me. Maybe that makes me a heathen. It might garner a lot of hate, but that's what I feel about it. Spine number 942, The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick. Spine number 336, first of my Linklater movies. It's Dazed and Confused. I haven't seen it either, which is a shame because I love Linklater in general, and everybody says this is their favourite, so why have I not seen it? I mean, who can ever explain what we as collectors do? Spine number 432, another film that other people seem to love and I haven't seen yet, is Schrader's Mishima. There are lots of Schrader movies I've watched over the years, and I like pretty much all of them. So again, the one classified to be lots of people's favourite I haven't seen. Beautiful, beautiful package and release put together though. Fantastic. Spine number 4, Amarcord by Fellini. My first Fellini film that I've seen, and it's one that visually is very, very striking. And I've seen Fellini films subsequently, but there's not any that I've seen since that are quite as visually striking like this one is. And really good fun. I think Amarcord's great. Spine numbers 52 and 53, Yojimbo and Sanjuro. I've only seen Yojimbo out of this pair, I have to be honest, and it's fantastic. It ranks up there with some of the favourites that I have of Kurosawa's. So Sanjuro needs to follow in due course. Spine number 723, Y tu mamá también. Is that? I haven't seen it. I think I might have many years ago before I even realised what it was, because I think I've seen it and Babel in very close proximity to each other, but my memory of it is nil. Let's put it that way. Spine number 813 is Wim Wenders' Road Trilogy. Haven't seen. Spine number 938, Sex, Lies and Videotape by Soderbergh. Haven't seen. Spine number 496 leads on quite nicely to Che, which I think is fantastic. I remember seeing this many years ago when it first came out, and I watched the first part and didn't like it. And I've watched subsequently, and I have no idea what I was thinking. I might explain some of the other movies that I've seen. It's utterly incredible. It's engrossing. It is long, like there's no doubt, and it does tell very much like a weekly account of his life at that stage. But yeah, a fantastic movie. I'm really glad that they actually put the time and effort into making that. That's magnificent. Spine number 841. I nearly just dropped it, but Lone Wolf and Cub. Who wouldn't like these movies? They're great fun, and actually a really good contrast to another box set that's coming in here in a second. They're very different in their own ways. The main characters are very different. They're not kind of done the same, even though they were done as one as a result of the other one to capture on the success of one. But yeah, Lone Wolf and Cub, great fun, great 6 films. Spine number 663, Showa. I haven't made my way through this entire thing. It's very, very difficult watch, but utterly fascinating and very important to watch. It is one of those things that I need to go back to, because I do feel, for social consciousness sake, it is important to know what happened and the lessons that are learned, especially in modern day, where the world is close to coming off the rails again. It's hard not to think that, but Showa. Next one is Spine number 2. I don't need to look at the spine because it's Seven Samurai. Obviously one of the greatest films that's ever been made, and rightfully belongs as near the start of the spine numbers as a pillar stone or a release that everybody should and probably does own. Spine number 647 is On the Waterfront, which was my favourite release of last year. This is actually a region A that I couldn't wait a few months to wait on the region B. So I had to pick it up, and the film, the extras, the packaging, even the feel of this release just feels important and good. You know, the performance by Brando was one thing, but everything of this all together wraps up for it to be what my favourite Blu release of 2019 was. Spine number 97 is Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. Spine numbers 857, 858 and 859. It's the 4 trilogy by Richard Linklater. Character piece, the very definition of character piece in its 3 movies with 2 people. Fantastic, utterly fantastic. Spine number 29 is a slightly open version of Picnic at Hanging Rock with the book. I haven't seen it yet. I tried to talk the wife into watching it, but she says she's seen numerous adaptations of Picnic at Hanging Rock and there's no rush to watch this in front of other things, so I might have to do that one by myself. Next one's 1024, and it's a single release. It's not a box set, but it's what I watched last night, which was Death Street Rides Again, and it was great fun. Again, Jimmy Stewart, just utterly watchable and likeable in everything that I think that he's ever done. And another one that I watched yesterday, which was Spine numbers 990, 991 and 992. It's the Coker trilogy. I think, like everybody, these films caught everybody by surprise when they watched them. They expected to like them, but maybe not quite as much as they did. I mean, the story within the story of how this became a trilogy is fascinating in its own right, and bears reading the booklet, etc. for. A wonderful, Where's My Friend's House is just spectacular. I even described it to the wife the other day about the story, and she was nearly in tears at how sweet that movie is with the Coker trilogy. And then there were three, so there were only three left. First one is Spine number 679, and it is the Zatoichi set. Lots of people talk about the Zatoichi set as being incredible, and it is incredible, both in terms of packaging, in terms of the book that comes along with it, which is actually a very good read, although, you know, sometimes you need those short synopses of what each story is and to remind you what they are, because while the films all have their own distinct feeling and tone, they can all blur together because there's nearly so many different themes and tones throughout them. But yeah, I'm 6 films in so far, and they are very much something, if I don't know what else to watch, I'll stick on as Zatoichi because I know I'm going to enjoy it. So that's that set, and I fully intend to finish that by the end of the year. Very treasured. Next one is Spine number 1000. It's the Godzilla set. Unopened. I've watched the first movie, obviously, because I have the standard release, and I've watched the second movie on the Criterion channel. So I haven't quite cracked open it yet, and I really should, because the artwork, etc., was one of the main reasons that I bought it in the first place. So yeah, wonderful. And last but not least is the necessary one that everybody has, and that is the Ingmar Bergman cinema set that I really should start making my way through. I've seen a lot of singular releases out of the set in their own space and time. I'm debating whether to watch it with somebody or watch it by myself. I have a feeling I'm going to have to do it by myself and just call my wife to watch Wild Strawberries, etc. again, because I know she will enjoy that one. But that is my collection as of today. Obviously, will change over the next few years, months, etc. as things get added and things come out. But yeah, my pride and joy in many ways is my Criterion Collection. Let me know what you think. Are any of those that are your favourite titles? Any of the ones that I've said that I haven't seen? Let me know what I should watch first. What's next on the list? Because there's an awful lot of work to get through there as I get through. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch, if you've made it this far. And if you have, give us a like. This has been a bit exhausting to do, even carrying these upstairs into a better lit room than the room that I have downstairs. Thanks very much. Take care of yourself. Take you soon. All the best. Bye.